Hey guys, how y'all doing? It's me, Johnny, and welcome back to another one of our Sorare videos. Today's video is going to be why I am not going to be playing in the summer period and why I have decided to just go ahead and strengthen and focus on the European period itself. And I think this is someone that a lot of people might need to hear as well, because this was a mistake I have made in the past 2 years, and I want you guys to be able to avoid making those mistakes right now. So let's start off straight away. Last time around, back in the day when I used to play early on into my career on Sorare, you can see that I started off with like limiteds and stuff, and apparently Zeruki was the first ever card I have won. It's so funny to me because now I'm actually interested in getting a Zeruki because he's going to be joining Feyenoord, and at Feyenoord these scores are going to be just as good, I assume, possibly even better. So I'm really excited about the fact that he was the first player I've ever won. But the reason why I'm showing you guys the players I have won is I want to showcase you what my success, what my rewards were during past summer periods. So as we can see right here, this is basically where my summer period kind of started off, I believe, where for the first time I was using the likes of who is it again? How can I show you? Is there any way I can show you guys the lineups that have gotten these rewards? Okay, no, there isn't. That would be a cool thing to have. I'm pretty sure there was a way to do this. But yeah, just generally speaking, it would have been nice to have that ability. But going back here, what is it? Game week 262. Let me show you guys what has happened in those game weeks and what kind of teams I had back in the day. 262. That is back in towards the end of April. Okay, so that was right before the summer period. I had a combination of European slash summer type players, Slovik and Morishige, the famous partnership that I had at the time. And you can already tell that this is not necessarily just an Asia slash MLS or America type of lineup. It still had European pieces in it. So moving on from that, we went into game week 263, which again was huge. Back to back. This time around, I got myself into the third position, which I was extremely happy with. Once again, Moussa Dembele was involved with it. And the thing is, Moussa Dembele possibly could be getting a really good move for him. So if he does, I want to pick him back up. But again, you can see we had the Asian players involved alongside European ones. And then as we move forward even further, I would say like game week 265, you can kind of tell how my rewards kind of tailed off. I only had one team right here, possibly utilized these guys for one last time. Again, just one Asian player involved with a bunch of Europeans. So still, no players that have won me rewards that were just from the summer regions. Game week 268, we can go ahead and take a look at that as well. So this one, All-Star Rare Pro. Now we're slowly starting to see a lot more of the summer pieces in here. We have the likes of Slovik. We have Fausto Vera, who at the time was playing for Argentinos Juniors, I believe. And then we have Cecilia, who obviously is a huge player for many, many people out there that are playing the K-League players and risking it, I should say. But you can kind of tell still, these rewards that I'm picking up are still involving European players. Going to game week 272 towards the end of May, All-Star Rare Pro, we have 4 players from the summer regions, and yet again Moussa Dembele, the legend himself, who had an incredible run at the time, and that got me to 73rd position, and I got myself a reward, which was Luka Netz. Before that, Serdar Azmoun, Kevin McAllister. Moving on then, 10 game weeks later. Yes, I tried to play through the summer period with the pieces I had that you have seen, and it took me 10 more game weeks. Game week 282 to finally win something. And that was an All-Star Rare, and involved a K-League goalkeeper who at the time was absolutely horrible. I mean, this guy was the worst goalkeeper on a platform, alongside with Marlon, who was actually quite decent, and the 2 players from Cincinnati, Acosta and Brenner, and then New York City FC's Castellanos. So you can see this is the first summer period team that won me a reward. That was in game week 282. Despite me having multiple teams, I had Morishige, Slovik, that partnership. I had Sasaki, I had Hill, I had Cecilia. Technically the best pieces in the summer, right? And yeah, it didn't really work out into my favor. Things didn't really go too well. In the under 23s, you can tell as well, with the summer players, I just couldn't hit any rewards consistently enough. So moving on from that, the next reward I win is Game Week 294. Game Week 294 is already in August. That is basically the European season coming back again. Once again, we have a bunch of players in here that are from the Asia and MLS region. But then you also, actually, America and Asia, I should say. And then you have Celtic coming back and playing with Daisen Maeda. And that put me into a reward to win Kim Okyu. So, yeah. Game week 300. Next reward. We have Diego Palacios. And at that stage, I believe all my players are kind of back from Europe as well. Yeah, you can see Unastal, Smal, the OP partnership, who I probably should have kept. Sasaki, Hill, Maeda. And once again, you can kind of tell, like, in this period of the summer time, I just wasn't capable of winning anything of any sort of value. So I have made that mistake. And I look back at it and I'm like, you should just not do it, because I do not have a deep enough gallery. If you guys want to aim towards going ahead and winning things in Champion America, America Rare Pro, in Asia, Asia Rare Pro, or even an All-Star Rare Pro during those times, even having those Hills and Cecinias and Jesus Ferreiras and Osakos and all those players that are technically some of the best, it doesn't mean you're going to be guaranteed rewards, because the MLS, Asia, and America regions, there are so many experts in there, people that have built their entire galleries surrounding these regions, that probably will end up ahead of you most of the time. You cannot just dabble into the summer period. If you want to commit to it, you have to fully commit to it. And that is something that I have learned. That is also the reason as to why I am not keeping my Hill. That is the reason why I am now solely focusing on the period that is coming up, which is the European season coming. Now, I have gone ahead and traded my Hill, plus a little bit of cash, of course, for Trent Alexander-Arnold 2020-21 card. And that was the last step for me personally, going ahead and saying, I am definitely not playing in the summer period. I am not competitive enough. My gallery is not built well enough to compete with anyone else in there. And I will just have to push that forward into a period at a time where I feel very, very extremely confident in my European players and can actually, throughout the European season, build into the MLS, the J League, K League, and the America regions, and actually start off into the summer period with more than just 1 or 2 goalkeepers, with more than just 3-4 defenders, but actually having a full-on gallery that can compete in those regions. But at the same time, what bugs me the most about the summer period is that I'm not necessarily winning players that I truly care about. For me, yes, it is fun. It was fun. But then again, it also ruined my nights. Like when I knew that my MLS players were playing while I'm going to sleep and I had a slight chance of a reward, I couldn't sleep. I legit could not sleep. I would wake up in the middle of the night and I would check out how these guys have done. And if I wake up at 3-4 a.m. and I'm like looking at my phone with one eye and I'm seeing decisives and stuff, it would really excite me and I could go back to sleep nicely. But if my players were not doing well, it would actually ruin my sleep even more. So I am not built for it. So that's something I have to understand myself. And I want to give that info to you guys as well, who are possibly planning on, you know what, I want to play throughout the summer period. This is something I should definitely get involved in because Sorare is fun, obviously, and I want to stay active on the game, which then in turn means you invest even more into players that you might not know enough of. You're just looking at the SO5 scores. You don't necessarily know how the games in the MLS work, how much these teams are traveling, if the K-League games are covered. J-League rotation is a madness as well. Like, it's really, really hard to compete in the summer, in my opinion. Possibly the hardest time on Sorare. That's just my opinion. It's the one time where I was not able to get myself rewards despite having some of the best pieces for that period in my gallery. It just showcases to me that if you want to commit to the summer, you have to 100% commit to it. Like, you have to know everything. And that's not something I could do because I have to put in the most work possible to gain rewards that are way below par when it comes to the European season. And that's just not a smart thing, in my opinion. And that's why I'm not going to be playing the summer period. But that also opens up the way for me to go ahead and focus on European season coming up. So as things stand, we have Andris Noppert, who has come back and played 2 games for Heerenveen already. He was one of the best goalkeepers on the platform. You can see it right here. Even with Heerenveen, like, he is facing a lot of shots. His AA score has always been great, an average of 12.1, which takes you to like 47. So I have this guy on like 11% or whatever, and by the time next season comes, he's going to be 6, 7, possibly 8%. I will be training him all the time, and I'm pretty much getting myself a goalkeeper that can score me a 50 each week. And he's a really good goalkeeper, experienced one, can also get national team football possibly. But yeah, this is someone I can really rely on for some of my lineups. Alisson is probably going to be my #1 goalkeeper. Obviously, I am very, very much invested into Liverpool right now. I'm a huge Liverpool fan. I think Alisson is the best goalkeeper in the world. And despite Liverpool not necessarily doing too well throughout this year, these scores are still great. Alisson is one of those goalkeepers that can get those 70 pluses, which are huge, because just getting a clean sheet because your team dominated the game and you had nothing to do is not necessarily ideal for Sorare. You want to have someone that can actually go ahead and get some good AA in and also get that clean sheet. So you can see right here, Alisson, his AA score is like on average, again, 12.7, which is just like Noppert. So I'm really, really happy with that. I think he's going to be one of my best goalkeepers, one of my most used ones for sure. And then Diogo Costa, if he stays at Porto, great. If he moves over to Manchester United, that's fine too, because I think Manchester United will be even stronger next season. So that's fine for me. I think he's way better than De Gea, even though De Gea, of course, has gotten the Golden Glove in the Prem, I believe. But still, I think if Manchester United want to get Costa, they probably have to kind of, give him that first spot. I don't think that a national team goalkeeper is going to move teams to sit on the bench. And it's not like he's a youngster that's just going to sit on the bench and be happy with it to get that opportunity as well. This is someone who has already established himself. So yeah, I think Diogo Costa is a safe bet for the next season. Brat, he is going to be huge for me. I think this is probably going to be my cap 240 super rare goalkeeper throughout the next year. And the fact that he's playing for a second division club means we get plenty of midweek game weeks as well. So I'm really looking forward to that. So Brat is here. He's here to stay. He's going to be extremely useful because, again, as you can tell here by these scores, he can get plenty of clean sheets. Moving on to Bart Verbruggen, I have his #1 mint, which I'm very happy with. Verbruggen is one where I might be a little bit worried, but I am going long-term with this guy. He's only 20 years old anyways, and I have a really good Anderlecht connection. If you guys don't know, I have the #1 Anderlecht rare collection from the 22-23 season, which then again in turn will mean that he will get a +3 bonus once my guys get that 90-day holding bonus. So I'm really looking forward to that. And Verbruggen is very good. His underlying stats are amazing. So again, we have another super rare goalkeeper in Lucas Zidane, who is currently still in the mix. He is playing for Eibar in the battle against Alaves to go through the playoffs and get promoted into La Liga. Now, selfishly, I am hoping they don't get promoted because I do want that extra utility that he gets in Spain in the second division with a lot more games to be played. So yeah, if he goes up, that's fine too. I will have my champion Europe super rare goalkeeper, which is really nice to have as well. So we'll see what happens there. So goalkeeper wise, I think I'm pretty set. Like, I have really good goalkeepers here. Ideally though, I would love to add just one more, and I will make my decision on that. I personally think I want to get Bijlo, the goalkeeper from Feyenoord, because I am currently building a Feyenoord collection. So I want him in my club as well. So he's probably going to be another one of the goalkeepers that I will be picking up throughout this summer period. Going into the defenders, once again, you can now see that I have picked up a couple of Feyenoord players. I got myself Hansko, who I think is incredible. Hansko is a beast. His scores are unreal. If you have his super rare, you're probably one of the happiest people on the platform. I also got myself Trent Alexander-Arnold, who probably is one of the most high-scoring, capable players going into the next season, especially with the new formation that Liverpool now has that has provided these insane scores for Trent. And I do think a lot more clean sheets are going to be coming in too, which also will be helping his score even more. I can see Trent being in like 65, 70 L15 type of player in the upcoming season, one of the most desirable players. Grimaldo going over to the likes of Leverkusen. He, I think, could do really well there. The position he will be playing there is going to be allowing him to get attacking quite a bit and get involved into the play. And with Patrick Schick, I think he's going to be great. I also got myself Hartmann for the Feyenoord collection. I still need to swap this De Ligt to a Bayern Munich De Ligt. When the time comes, I will be doing that. And of course, we have the likes of Van Dijk. We have Barisic, who I'm excited to see where he's going to move to. Hilgers as well. And then, of course, Josko Gvardiol, who's probably my most prized possession. Not necessarily from his scores lately, but in terms of potential to be world-class, he is definitely the one. So I'm very, very happy with my defenders, especially Formosa Mendy is goated, so don't even need to talk about him. So defender-wise, I'm pretty happy. Midfielders, Florentin, Brandt, Getson, Güler, Sven Mainans, Szymanski has been picked up, Kökçü, Andre Almeida has been smashing it lately, McAllister with the Liverpool stack together, Romeo Lavia, extremely talented, will probably get a move, Keito Nakamura linked to the likes of Eintracht Frankfurt. I'm pretty convinced he will get a move as well. Marcelinho Nunez seems to be getting a lot more playtime in the upcoming season for Norwich City, which I'm very excited about. He is going to be a huge player for me at the start of the next season in Cap 240. And Alex Garcia, a lot of people have already forgotten how good this guy is due to his injuries lately. But generally speaking, we are speaking one of the best midfielders on the platform. So I'm very excited to have that Alex Garcia. I can't wait to see how well he's going to do for me in the next season. And Tom Bischoff will probably get even more playtime going into the next year and possibly even a loan move away, which I'd be surprised about because he's way too talented. He probably should be pushing into the starting lineup by the second half of the season coming up. So yeah, I'm very happy with how things are looking there. And in terms of forwards, I think I'm pretty nicely stacked up. Salah, Taremi if he stays, Tadic, Gift Orban, Brunetta, Jamal Musiala, Golden Boy, and then we have Florian Wirtz, Jimenez, Cenk Tosun, Cherki, Harold Preciado, and also Balik Visho. So in terms of forwards, I'm not really too worried. Ideally, I would like to pick up a Vini Jr. at some point, but that is not what we need to talk about right now. So let's talk about collections and why I am personally building into them. I think collections is such a nice thing to add into the game. It genuinely has me so much more interested in a team rather than just certain players. I am very, very excited to have these Liverpool players who are going to be getting at least a 2% bonus soon. Obviously, they have an 80 score right now. And once these guys get that bonus for the 90 days, that takes me to 160, which takes me above the 100. My goal is to reach the 250. That is definitely what I want to reach. Anything past that is not going to be possible, I reckon, because You Never Walk Alone has every single jersey mint and first mint, which obviously will hold me back. So I am not going to be able to get any of those players. I'm just going to focus on getting the 3% and training these guys up to be at 10% by themselves to get the 3% on top of it, which would be ideal. So now the Liverpool stack will be consisting of Alisson, Van Dijk, Trent, and also Salah, which is ridiculous. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing how these guys are going to be used for me. I can use them in Champion Europe Rare. I can also use them in Champion Europe Pro, depending on which defender I want to use, Van Dijk or Trent, combined with 2 super rares. So yeah, I'm looking forward to get the bonus on these players. In terms of Anderlecht, again, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 players only, and I am the #1 collector of Anderlecht for this season. I'm already at 2%. I'm definitely going to be pushing towards the 3%, so don't you worry about that. And I have lately started picking up a bunch of the players that I want for the next season with Feyenoord. Kilinci Hartmann is a very, very good player. I'm excited to have him in the gallery as a first owner. Hansko is one of my favorites at Feyenoord, one of the most impressive players who possibly could be getting a massive move in this summer. So we'll see what happens with him. If he gets that move, I think he's still going to continue smashing. If you look at some of his scores, like his underlying stats, you can see that he is actually one of the most insane defenders in Europe right now. Like, let me show you right here. David Hansko, left-footed. I mean, look at this. Versus other centre-backs, this guy, in terms of progression and stuff, like, offensively, one of the best centre-backs in the game. Then in terms of like passes and everything, he is again one of the best in world football. In terms of tackles, he's in the 97th percentile. He will need to improve his interceptions, blocks, clearances, and all that type of game. But then again, at Feyenoord, he didn't really have to do those things as much because his team was obviously quite dominant. So you don't have to do as much defensively, but his tackles are great. So again, I think Hansko, no matter where he goes, he's going to be great. I also got myself a Szymanski, and I'm hearing that he's going to stay at Feyenoord. So we could have a stack with Bailo, with Kilinci Hartmann, Hansko, Szymanski, Jimenez, his super rare that we already have, and then possibly another super rare paired up with these Feyenoord lads. Ideally, I want to push this Feyenoord collection up to like 3% as well. We'll see how things go. I mean, in terms of players who I really think could do well in this collection, obviously the goalkeeper, Getrauda, if he does stick around with Feyenoord, could be a really good addition. Apart from that, Trauner, if he actually comes back into the starting 11 alongside Hansko, he always was a great player, so I wouldn't mind getting him. Ideally, I want to swap my Kökçü for an Orkun Kökçü from this season as well, so I'll get that deal done as well. So Kökçü will be here. I have contacts to the person that has the number 1 mint, and we already talked. It's an employee at Sorare Data. By the way, talking about Sorare Data, guys, this game, honestly, you cannot play it without this beautiful tool. Like, it is absolutely impossible. I believe there's a stat out there, don't quote me on this, but 90% of the people that play Sorare and actually win rewards are people that use Sorare Data. So make sure to sign up to Sorare Data, to do all your lineup building, to do all your scouting, to do all the things that you need to do in order to be successful on this game. The pick scores are a great way to finding out which players are actually going to be dominating certain regions. If you have a chance, if you have any of those players in your gallery as well, like, there are so many things that I personally absolutely love about Sorare Data right now, and I think you just cannot play this game without them. So link in the description down below. Sign up. I would highly recommend signing up for the highest tier because that is the one I'm in as well. I'm a paying customer as well, despite being a Sorare Data ambassador, and it doesn't bother me at all because I love what they provide. Like, I use the page for at least 2 hours a day. And yeah, I would recommend it to you guys as well. So link in the description down below and use the code Gianni. Yes, my name basically. Use that one. And yeah, that would be extremely kind of you if you could go ahead and use my code for it. So yeah, again, Sorare Data, just absolutely smashing it. New features coming up as we speak that I know of, that you guys don't know of yet. So look forward to that. And then yeah, I am looking to get a Mats Vifa. He's going to be very important next season as well. If he sticks around, he's going to be huge. And then possibly I want to get myself a Paixão as well. So a couple of players that I definitely want to bring in. And then Zerouki is only going to come in next season, but I think Zerouki could be a beast too. So we'll have to see what I do on that side. And yeah, the final collection is coming together. The Porto one is just a coincidence. I do have the Diogo Costa, and I do have the special version of Mehdi Taremi, which gives him another 20-point boost, which takes me to a 1% boost for these players. I'm not planning on giving them even more than they already have. I think my Diogo Costa is already at a very high percentage. Yeah, he's already at level 16. I already boosted him up once. I will be pushing him towards that 10% anytime soon. So those are the collections that I have. Actively, I am trying to collect these 3, but I also want to go ahead and focus on Bayern Munich. If I do get the funds for it, of course, I would love to get myself a Manuel Neuer for the next season. I want to swap my De Ligt for a Bayern Munich De Ligt as well. I think Alphonso Davies would make a lot of sense, but then again, if Lucas Hernandez is to stay, Alphonso Davies and him might be rotating a little bit. So I'm kind of hoping that Lucas Hernandez signs for PSG so I can safely get myself an Alfonso as well. Then I think Mazraoui will probably get plenty of playtime because apparently Pavard is moving away as well. So Bayern Munich definitely will have to sign a couple of defenders. So Mazraoui could be interesting. Then I think I would like a Gravenberch as well. I probably would love to get Matisse Tell. I don't know. I'll think about it. But the Bayern collection, I want to push towards at least 2% as well. So we'll see what happens there. We have plenty of players that I would like to add in. Ajax is probably one I should be looking at too, because boosting up Tadic could be good. It could be a really good differential because obviously Tadic is one of the best cards on the platform if he stays at Ajax, of course. So yeah, you guys can clearly tell I am just working into the summer. Like, that is what I'm doing. You can see it on my latest purchases. This Martin Valgent I got because of this upcoming game week. I'll show you guys my lineups in a second. But I want to go ahead and build upon my strength. I don't want to build upon what is not necessarily good enough. I don't want to hope to win some rewards that at the end of the day are not necessarily players that I desperately want to have in my gallery. I want to have the best football players in the world in my gallery and all of them play in Europe. So for that reason, I am just building upon what I already have. I have now the Feyenoord boys coming in. I have the Trent. I have the Liverpool stack. I have the Jamal Musiala golden boy. Julian Brandt and other Dortmund players are probably ones that I'll be looking into as well. I'll see if Dortmund is a team that I want to heavily invest into to see if I can get something out of them next season. Arda Güler, I think he's going to be one of the best under 23 midfielders next season because he's going to get a lot more regular play time and we can expect amazing numbers from this kid. Again, the Anderlecht boys are here. We have Verbruggen. We have everything set up at this stage, and I just want to keep on adding strength. The one thing I probably need to do at this point is, like, I might have to get some of the best players on the platform, like the Mbappes, the Haalands. Maybe that is the next step I need to make in the rare divisions, and I'll be thinking about that. But for now, I am building up the collections, and I want to build a foundation that I'm really happy with, so I can go ahead into my lineup builders, for example, here, and go into the next game week where I've done something here for you guys to see. Is this the one? No, that's not the one. Where did I do this? 379? Yeah, this is the one. So here you can basically see the lineups I am already, like, conceptualizing in my head for the upcoming season. We could have Diogo Costa, De Ligt, and Musiala from Bayern Munich, who I think are going to be great, especially Bayern Munich at the start of the season tend to absolutely ruin everyone. Mainans at AZ Alkmaar with the set pieces, with Tijani Reinders, Carlson possibly leaving. He could be the guy in that team. And then Santiago Jimenez obviously is a massive part of my lineups. So going away from that, we can take a look at my Champion Europe Rare Pro. This, again, could be nuts. Alisson, Trent, Alex Garcia, Mohamed Salah, and Gvardiol, considering the collection bonus on these players as well. And depending on what Gvardiol is going to be doing in the summer, if he stays at Leipzig, great. Hopefully he could start off the season with no injuries and everything like that. And he can be an absolute smasher once again. So I think this looks very, very good. Could easily get me a lot of rewards in the future. Then we can look at the All-Star Rare Pro region, where we could mix up some of the players. We could have Lucas Zidane, Formosa Mendy, Julian Brandt, Tadic, and Grimaldo. That surely can get me some rewards in the upcoming year. Under 23 rare, we would have the likes of Verbruggen, Formosa, Arda Güler, Florian Wirtz, and Kökçü, depending on where he's going. Kökçü is a beast no matter what. And then we go into the Challenger Europe Rare Pro, which definitely is something I want to play. I will have Noppert in there alongside Hansko and the Feyenoord boys. If I like my Rare Pro lineup better, I'll go Rare Pro. If I only like the matchup of Feyenoord, I'll just get myself Bailo, obviously going to be added into the gallery as well. So imagine Noppert not in this lineup, but Bailo in there. And we can just stack up the Feyenoord guys and see how things go there, because they will probably be doing quite well. But then again, rotation will be kicking in at Feyenoord. And that's where having a bigger collection of Feyenoord players will be good, because certain game weeks I can put put those fringe players into the starting 11, knowing that some of the best players will be rested for Champions League football. And that then again will be something that not everyone will be able to do. So I really like that one. And then we could potentially have in that all-star rare team, let's say that Noppert then slides over into this squad with 2 players from a future Liverpool alongside Taremi and Cherki. And these are not the lineups that 100% will be going into the next year with. Obviously, depending on matchups and all the things that are going to come up, we want to have as strong as possible lineups going in there. So we'll see how these concepts will move further. In terms of under 23 super rares, we also still have Balikvisha, Hilgers, Barisic, Andre Almeida, who are going to be very useful going into the next year, who can easily be mixed into under 23, be mixed into the challenger region and all those things. And then the Cap 240 super rare will be one of my main focuses as well. Since I have won a couple of super rares on the lower end, it allows me to enter in there with some lower L15s. And Marcelinho Nunez could be a key part of that next season. If Gabriel Sara leaves, he goes into the starting 11. He starts taking set pieces again. He could be a huge player for me. And then depending on where Romeo Lavia ends up, he could be a very good player for the Cap 240 super rare as well. So again, you can tell I am not concerned about the summer period at all. I am excited about the European season coming back. And one of the main reasons, again, is because I don't want to put in so much work for such little reward. I've gone through that period already. Unless you fully commit to it, it's not worth it, in my opinion. You'll come out of it thinking, oh, I won 1 or 2 rewards, let's say tier 4, tier 3, and it wasn't really worth it. I rather want to focus on my European strengths and keep building upon it. And that's something I want to do due to the fact that Sorare themselves are really pushing this next European season big time. Like they are, it seems like something's brewing up for the upcoming season with the fiat wallet coming in or the cash wallet. I think they will be pushing marketing a lot more because onboarding will be so much easier when you do not have to explain people that this game is based on crypto, on Ethereum, and when Ethereum goes up, the player prices tend to go up or down, and all these things. You don't have to worry about that as much anymore when the game is starting to be based on cash on the surface of the game. Obviously, below that, the whole crypto thing makes it what it is, but making people, like allowing people to get into it through the whole cash wallet system will make things so much easier for onboarding. And I personally fully expect so many more people getting involved with this game because it is just an amazing game. It is the best game I ever played. It is the one game that has literally changed my life and my content on my main channel as well. People always say, how the hell do you know about all these players, all these leagues? Like, how do you do this? And it's all because of Sorare and also Sorare data. So guys, yeah, I'm excited. I'm really excited about the period coming up, and I can show you while we're talking about coming up. Let me show you my teams. All-Star Super Rare. Actually, I should probably show it to you on Sorare data because it's much better. So yeah, here we go. You can see my last hurrah of a lineup. We have Zidane at home in the playoffs in Spain. We have Formosa Mendy at home against the 17th, has a really good pick score. We have Gabriel Florentin at home with a good pick score as well. He is on fire lately. I will probably captain him in the squad. Then we have Getson and Cenk Tosun fighting for the spot above them. Fener is above them, and if they can win this game and Fener drops points, they could possibly end up in that second position. And then the all-star rare team is going to be looking like this. We have the likes of Nopat, Formosa Mendy, Arda Güler, Gift Orban, and Cherki. Actually, no. I have another draft. This is the one you need to look at. Sorry. So super rare team is the same. This is the all-star rare team. It has Nopat, Formosa Mendy, Güler, Gift Orban, and Keito Nakamura. And then we have a punty, last time ever, Champion Europe Rare Pro team, for which I actually bought the defender from Mallorca because Leo Roman is expected to play. The backup goalkeeper that got to play last game already came out and said that he wants to get a move because he wants more play time. So he's probably not getting to play the last game of the season. And the regular first team goalkeeper, I believe his name is Rajkovic, is apparently not going to be playing, so Leo Roman is fully expected to play. Of course, I probably should have capitalized on his L15 of 0, but then again, I'd much rather go ahead and punt in a lineup that possibly could get me somewhere near the top of the rankings here. I'm hoping for it because there are not that many games left in the Champion Europe region, and I'd rather just punt for the maximum. So we're going to go with this lineup in there with Cherki, Andre Almeida, Martin Valgent, Leo Roman, and Alex Garcia, who is back from injury, played already in the last game, coming off the bench for like half an hour. So I am very much excited about this lineup. And that's it. That is my last lineup before the European season finishes. And then I'll just enjoy myself scouting, making content for you guys about teams and players I think could do really well going into the next year, collections to possibly build up. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. This is a long-ass video, but you guys are the best. And I've never been this excited about Sorare. Honestly, like, I cannot wait to see what's going to be happening. If you haven't signed up for Sorare yet, link in the description down below. And if you haven't, actually, if you are on Sorare but you do not have Sorare data, you're living the wrong way. Sign up for Sorare data, use the link in the description down below, and use the code Johnny. I will catch you guys on the next one. Europe, I love you. MLS, Asia, America. I'm sorry, lads, but it's just not for me. Take care and peace.